Greetings folks, here we have an interesting little plane. It is the Eachine Mirage E500 wing. I'm not going to show you an assembly video because I've already assembled it, and here it is here. It's twin motor, vertical takeoff and horizontal flight wing. Very easy assembly. It's pretty well already put together. These side fins just sort of friction fit onto the side. I think you can glue them on if you want to. Props just screw on to the motors. We get some stickers as well, spare props, counter rotating props, so you've got to make sure the right prop goes on the right motor, and an instruction manual as well. Now this is a tricky little plane because I think it's designed to come as ready to fly with a transmitter already set up and all that sort of stuff. This is the almost ready to fly, I guess. I thought it was coming with a receiver. You sort of choose which receiver you want, FrSky, FlySky or DSM2 or Spectrum or whatever it is. I thought I was getting the FrSky one, but there was no receiver that came with it, so I had to sort of set it all up myself. And I got there eventually. There's not enough information in the manual to do it. You have to sort of go online, have a look at RC groups and check what other people have done. And you can work out basically how to set it up, but it's not very simple. So we have a couple of little quad motors. As you probably know, I'm not much of a quad guy at all. And in the vertical mode, this sort of flies like a quad. It is stabilised. I've mucked around with it in my backyard, which hasn't got enough space to fly it properly, but I managed to get it off the ground and hover it for a little bit. You can choose vertical stable mode, horizontal flight mode, or you've got a full manual mode as well. It takes a 2-cell battery, something like about 600 milliamp hours. I've got a 950 here, or I've got a 500. I'll try both of them. See how we go. We open up the canopy. There you can see the flight control board there, JST plug. It's all connected up, but you have to connect the receiver in. On the instruction manuals, it shows 2 little plugs here and tells you which one to plug it into. This one actually has 3 plugs, so I had to use trial and error to work out which plug I had to plug my receiver into. It also uses a strange, tiny little 3-pin plug there, which would be supplied if you did get a receiver with it, or in the ready-to-fly version. Luckily, I had one of these little plugs lying around, but it's not that common, and I had to sort of wire up my own cable. This runs on S-Bus. So I have an X4R SB S-Bus receiver here, which does the job. Just plugs into the middle of those 3 little sockets there. It has enormous control surfaces, and the stabiliser works very, very hard to keep it level. I'll just hang the battery over there for the moment so we can see what's going on. You can see we have a green light on there. Can you see that? Yes. In the manual it says that the red light is the vertical flight mode. It's actually the green light. The red light is the horizontal stabilised mode. Yellow or orange light is the full manual mode. You need to do a bit of a calibration to start off with. We've got the green light on there, yeah, so green light's on. So if you hold the throttle and the elevator stick down, you should get 3 flashing green lights, and that'll be calibrated in the level position, in theory. Now, most of the control of this is done by differential thrust. You don't actually have any control over the aileron side of the ailerons at all. You do get aileron control. Now, one little oddity, I don't know why they decided this was a good idea, but when you put it into manual mode, they have the rudder on the aileron stick and the ailerons on the rudder stick. Now, I've actually programmed the radio up so that that reverses back the other way, so that it flies more normally in manual mode. But when you're in stabilised mode, then the rudder is on the rudder stick and the aileron is on the aileron stick. And it's a good idea to have a throttle cut switch as well, because you can accidentally get the motor spinning up without meaning to. So let's look at the programming required. Channel 1 is rudder, Channel 2 elevator, Channel 3 throttle, Channel 4 aileron, and we also need a mode switch, Channel 5. I've got the C switch, And there's also a rudder rate switch as well on channel 6, and I've got that in on the SD switch. That's all you need to do really, but because the ailerons and the rudder, to my thinking, are reversed when you go into manual mode, which is the SC switch in the down position, I've made it so that when you switch into manual mode, channel 1 is the ailerons and channel 4 is the rudder. That just is more normal way to fly for me in mode 2. So we'll just see how that goes. I haven't actually flown in manual mode at all, so we'll see if that's necessary. None of this stuff is in the manual apart from the channel 5 and channel 6 as the mode switch and the rate switch. But it doesn't tell you which channel has to be which is makes life a bit hard. So that's about all there is to say at the moment. All we have to do is take it out and see if I can fly the beast. I've come out nice and early so there's no wind. Tiny little bit of wind coming into my face going back this way, so hopefully I'll be able to organise it. Better put the battery in first. It's a bit of a tight fit getting everything in. Okay, we're ready to go. Oh, there's a lot of wind now. It's horizontal, it's going alright, and vertical. Alright, let's just try vertical. Hopefully the wind goes away. Okay, here we go, first flight in vertical mode. I'll just punch it to get it up in the air. I think I'll have to push forward, push into the wind. Here we go. Well, the wind was blowing it away, and I didn't have any forward, really, and the battery came out. Would have been fine if I had some forward control there. Okay, it's meant for very calm days, I think, although the wind has just popped up a bit. So it's stable enough, but I was trying to hold it forward into the wind, and it just didn't want to go. Right, I might have to take off and then switch into horizontal flight. Let's see how that goes. No, got to punch it. Okay, horizontal flight now, well that's okay. You got to steer it with the rudder. This is weird. Aileron. Oh, aileron's okay. Oh, pretty cool. Nice and stable. Steering with the aileron, it just skids around. This is cool. Yeah, it's going nicely, easy to control. You just basically steering at E with the rudder or the aileron. They do the same thing. They're just doing differential thrust. Slide it right down, and it's just hovering in the wind. That's pretty cool. Oh, this is fun. It's working well. Let's get a bit of speed. Well, the stabiliser is working overtime. It flies very strangely because it turns flat. But it works. It's doing a high alpha. Alright, I'll bring it around and do a fast speed run. Full speed. Whee! That's cool. Easy to fly in horizontal stability mode. Look at that sliding turn. That's cool. Alright, I've got to try manual mode. I'll get up high. Oh yeah, manual mode's cool. Manual mode is just like a wing now. Except I'm losing orientation, so let's turn it back home. Glide it now. Comes down. It's going alright. I've got to try the rudder in manual mode and see if it'll do a flat spin. Okay. Wind's picking up a bit, so it's not flying very fast. In manual mode. Oh no, rudder just turns like a rudder. It's cool.
It's a little bit stabilised still in manual mode, maybe. Way! Loop. Yeah, no worries at all. This is cool. Look at that. It's a hot little wing in manual mode. Back to horizontal mode, stability mode, and you can just steer it around basically. Very cool. I can't do the vertical mode just yet because of the wind. Look at that wiggling. This is excellent. Good fun. Look at those flat turns. It almost angles the other way. Probably not a good idea to catch it, but I can't resist. All right, let's try that vertical mode again. Vertical mode. Well, if you go vertical mode, then straight into horizontal mode, it's cool. Vertical. Horizontal. Look at that, that's lovely. Vertical. Horizontal. Switching between the two. As long as you have a decent amount of throttle on, you can do that fine. Manual. Woohoo! Oh, look at the... Can we land it in vertical mode? Let's try it. This is not like anything else I've ever flown. Well, that was sort of vertical mode, but it didn't really go vertical. Okay, vertical takeoff straight into horizontal. Ah, very, very nice. That's a cool mode. Just have to master the... Whoops, lost it there. We do have a fair bit of wind now, which is not what this is designed for. Oh, look at that. That's cool. That went upside down and then flipped over. That was cool. I love it. And so this is a fun little plane. Got to master that vertical landing though. The wind is complicating matters. Well, we need zero wind for that to work. Now I'm going to try a launch in horizontal mode. That works alright. Well, I'm enjoying this a lot more than I thought I would. I thought it would be an incomplete project, sort of not quite thought out properly, but it actually does work very well. I do have probably 5 to 10 knots of wind, which is probably too much for it, especially for the vertical stabilised flight. If you had a calm day, it would be so much fun. Taking off in vertical, then switching to horizontal is easy and smooth, works really well. I haven't mastered sort of holding it in a hover because I'm fighting the wind all the time and I don't have enough elevator control to point it into the wind in that situation. It just blows away downwind. But that's no drama, as long as you know you need a calm day. It's a lot of fun. Manual flight's fun, very, very manoeuvrable, kind of a slow flyer. You can speed it up if you want to, but it does some amazing aerobatics in manual flight. All in all, good fun. This is the Eachine Mirage E500 VTOL wing. Very cool indeed. From Banggood. Thanks for watching.